Good morning, children. Welcome back to science class. Today we will continue the same chapter, that is weight, volume and density. In this chapter we have already studied about weight, volume and density, and we have studied about floating and sinking. Now today we'll start a new topic, that is Archimedes principle. We'll start a new topic, Archimedes principle, and it is on page number 94 in your books. So you can open your books, page number 94, Archimedes principle. So let's begin. Now we have studied that whenever we put an iron block in water, this is an iron block, and we put this iron block in water, it will sink. It will sink down, and you will see that it will easily go down and sink. But you must have observed that big ships, they all are made up of iron only, but they just float in water and travel from one place to another. Why it is so? Why don't these big ships sink in water? Why do they float in water? So all these interesting answers will get in this topic. So before understanding Archimedes principle, we will go through some important terms related to the topic. So first of all, you must for all these things you first need to perform an activity. You have to perform a simple activity. For this, what you have to do, you have to take a bucket of water half filled. You have to take a half filled bucket of water, or you can also take a tub for this activity, and you have to take a wooden block. As you can see, you have to take a wooden block, and after that you have to drop this wooden drop in bucket of water. In the beginning you will see that the wood will float in water, as in the first case you can see it is floating in water. Now you have to put your fingers like this on the wooden block and put some pressure on it and try to push it inside the water. Now after some time, just take out of your hand. What you will see? You will see that the wooden block is coming back. The wooden block is coming back to the surface of water. Why it is so? Because this is because of the force that water is exerting on the wooden block. Yes, children, water also exert force, that is upward force. Water exert upward force on all the substances that are put inside the water. So that force is known as upthrust. That force is known as upthrust. Upthrust. Upthrust, or we can say buoyant force. Buoyant. Buoyant force. So we can say force exerted by water in the upward direction on the substances that are put inside the water is known as upthrust force, or we can say buoyant force. Is it clear? So why the wooden block came up again? Because of the buoyant force. Okay. Now upthrust, or a definition for upthrust or buoyant force: the upward force applied by the fluid on the object or the body when an object is put in or submerged in the fluid. That upward force is known as the upthrust or the buoyant force. Now this is what buoyancy. Now we'll come across a new term, buoyancy. So with this we have studied, when an object is immersed in a liquid, it experiences an upward force known as buoyant force. This phenomena of experiencing an upward force is known as buoyancy. Means the process of buoyant force is known as buoyancy. Buoyancy is in process and buoyant is a force, Okay, buoyant is a force, and the process in which buoyant force is this occurring, that is known as the buoyancy. Now, Archimedes principle. We'll come to the Archimedes principle. Now, Archimedes law states that buoyant force on the object is equal to the weight of the fluid displaced by the object. Buoyant force is equal to, buoyant force means the upward force on any object which is submerged in water is equals to the weight of the fluid displaced by the object. Now, displaced by the object, what? Weight of the fluid displaced by the object, what we are talking about? So let's see. If I'll take a bucket full of water, this is a bucket full of water, and this water is filled to the top. Now, if I'll put a wooden block inside this, or you can put your mug also, a jug also you can put inside this. If you will put a mug or jug inside this, you will see that water will fall down from the side. Yes or no? Water will fall down from the side. That is what displaces. That is what displaces, because when we are putting this mug inside the bucket, this mug is making place for itself, because there is no space inside the bucket. It is filled with water. So this mug will make space for itself, and for that it has to take out some water from this. So that taken out water, that fluid that is displaced, that is taken out, is what equals to the buoyant force. Means buoyant force will be equals to the amount of water displaced. Okay, so that is what Archimedes principle says, that that buoyant force will be equal to the weight of the fluid displaced by the object. Now, if an object shrink in water, it displaces water equal to its volume. If it floats in water, it displaces less water. Means if I'll put, this is bucket of water, and if I'll put a leaf in this water, it is fully filled. Okay, if I'll put a leaf in this water, it will not displace any water because it is very light. This we can say that a higher the weight, more displacement will be there, more displacement of water will be there, because if weight will be high, then more upward force will be there, more buoyant force will be there. Okay, so more buoyant force means more displacement will be there. Is it okay? So this is what Archimedes principle says. Now for this, now suppose a brick and a piece of wood, both of volume 1 liter, are immersed completely in water. Here you can see a brick is there and a wood is there. Both are immersed in water, that is 1 liter of water. Now brick weight 2 kg, this brick weighs 2 kg, and this wood block weight how much? It is 0.8 kg. Okay, now what will happen? See, both will displaces the same volume of water, that is 1 liter. Hence both displaces the same weight of water, that is 1 liter. Because inside this 1 liter water is there, so volume, this upthrust will be same. So the Archimedes principle, the upthrust on both will be the same, that is equal to the weight of 1 kg. Here you can see weight is greater than upthrust, and here upthrust is greater than the weight. Now in this one, two cases will arise. In the first case, you can see that weight is 2 kg and that is greater than the upthrust. So in this case the brick will shrink. And in the second case you can see that the weight is 0.8 kg and the upthrust is 1 kg. So in this case the wooden block will float. So Archimedes' principle for floating and sinking are: if the weight of an object is more than the upthrust, the object will shrink. Means if the weight is more the then the upthrust, means if this is weight is greater and upthrust is very little, so the object will shrink down, and if the weight is very small and the upthrust is very high, so in this case the object will float in water. So this is the what the Archimedes rules for. These are the Archimedes rules for floating and sinking. So these are two rules. These are in your book, page number 95. You can go through these once more again. Now, next thing, the answer which we want. Why does a ship float? Why does a ship float? Even it is made up of iron, then also it floats. Why it is so? So the answer is a ship float because of its shape. Yes, children, because of the shape of the ship, it floats. You know, ships are like streamlined shape. Streamlined means they are from this side also streamlined and thinner from this side also. Thin from the center sides and thick at the center. So from because of this shape, the ships floats in water. Now how it is so? Let's see here. Ships float because of its shape. A ship is hollow. When the ship is in water, the entire volume of the ship, including the hollow portion, displaces water to make space for itself. The volume of water displaces is much more than the volume of the iron used in the ship. Means the shape of the if the shape of the ship help the ship to displace water and make space for itself in the sea. So it displaces the water, and so the upward force is less than the displaced water, so it will float in water. Now if in place of these ships, if you will put wooden blocks, they will also float because they will also make some space for themselves. Okay, now let's see this one also. Now according to the Archimedes principle, the upthrust is very high, more than the weight of the ship. Means the upthrust is high than the weight of ship because the sea is very large, water in the sea is very much, so it will exert high upthrust, and if it will exert high upthrust, the ship will definitely float. Therefore the ship floats in water. Now if the amount of iron used to make the ship is made into a small balls like this, so they will shrink in water because they will not able to displace as much as the water of as much the ship is displacing. Okay, so these will easily shrink in water. Now let's see the next topic, weight in water. Now weight in water, what is the weight in water of the different things we'll study. Now you have seen that when a brick is immersed in water, it appears to be very light. It appears to be light, and when we will take it out back, it will weight of an object in water is equals to weight in air minus the upthrust. Weight in air means when it is outside, it's outside the water, minus the upthrust. Upthrust means the force that water is acting. So any means if this is an object, if this is water, and inside this object is there, this wooden block is there, and if I have to find the weight of this wooden object inside the water, what I'll do, I'll subtract its actual weight. Weight in air means the actual weight it is having, minus the upthrust. Upthrust means the upward force that water is exerting on this wooden block. So I'll get the of its weight in water. Now we can say that weight of the object in water is equals to weight in air minus the weight of water displaced. Weight of water displaced, in the Archimedes principle we have studied that whatever the water is displaced is equals to the upthrust. So water amount of water displaced is equals to the upthrust. So in place of upthrust I can write the weight of water displaced. So both these are correct way to find the weight of water in weight of object in the water. The weight of an object in water is called its apparent weight. Means whatever the weight we are finding inside the water of an object is known as the apparent weight. Now apparent weight is equals to the weight in air minus weight of the water displaced. This we have studied earlier. Now the loss of weight of an object when immersed in water is known as the apparent loss in weight. The loss of weight means if this is a bucket of water, if this is a bucket of water and inside this I have put a wooden block, and in air its weight is 2 kg. Its weight is 2 kg. Okay, in air its weight is 2 kg, and inside this its weight loss is how much? Its weight is 1 kg. So how much weight is lost? 1 kg weight is lost. So this is known as the apparent loss in the weight. This is known as the apparent loss in weight, and we can find it by weight in air minus the apparent weight. That will be weight of water displaced. So these are the weight of objects in the water. So this is the end of the chapter, and hope you all understood it very well, and I suggest all of you to go through the chapter once again. This is all for today. Sai Ram.